What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In the S-Class, just riding today on the way home from a long day of actually dropping off a few TURO rentals, which I need to do a video on my process and like what I do. Pretty sure that'll help a lot of you guys out. This video though is about the top 5 cars that attract the worst type of renters. And what I mean by the worst type, that's people that plan on doing burnouts in your car, that are extremely careless with your car, you know, scammers, people who intend on potentially stealing your vehicle. I just want to go over my top 5 cars. I've came to this conclusion just from my experiences. I've had 3 out of the 5 cars on the list, and a friend of mine has had the other one, and I'm in a lot of the blogs and the Get Around and TURO group chats. So it's kind of not a super frequent thing, because I don't want to freak anybody out about not buying these certain cars if you're interested in these type of cars. But just to take a little bit of heed if you are going to rent it out, and just take a little bit of precaution when you're renting your car out. All right, first car is the Maserati Ghibli. The Maserati Ghibli, especially here in Atlanta, it's like a level up from Mercedes and BMW, which is crazy because BMW and Mercedes are 10 times the quality of a Maserati. Maseratis are ass when it comes to quality. Like, they suck. They just look good, and something about that emblem, that logo, really attracts people to it. My Maserati Ghibli literally had during the spring and summertime, probably only had maybe 1 or 2 open days all season in the spring and summertime. The Ghibli is wildly popular, and people who aren't so used to Maseratis and Bentleys, the Maserati is the very first stop after they're used to, you know, they done drove the people who typically it is are people who barely drive BMW 3 Series, you know, they got a C-Class at home or a CLA. They want to know what it's like on the wild side. Now, the Maserati Ghibli is fast too, especially if you get the SQ4. You're looking at about 400 horsepower out of a Ferrari engine. That's one thing the Maserati does have, man. That exhaust note, especially from a V6, it sounds amazing. Like, it's literally breathtaking. But that's a car I would really be cautioned, especially if I'm in a bigger city like Atlanta, Miami, LA. Just be really careful when you're renting out your Ghibli. Next car on my list is the BMW i8. Now, I just made a video stating that I'm probably going to get one of these. I am. However, I will be taking extreme precaution when I rent that car out. And it's simple. What's the thing about the i8? Butterfly doors. Everyone wants doors that's going up. I don't care who you is. Like, it's something cool about the freaking doors going up ever since Lamborghini. So if they can do it on a budget with a BMW, they sure would. I know personally 2 people who's actually had their i8 totaled on TURO, and I know one guy who's actually been renting his for 2 years, no problems. Of course, he has to deal with a couple, you know, scammers here and there, but he does pretty good because BMW has the BMW Connect system. So he didn't have to like buy a separate GPS. He just purchases the services with BMW. So I think he might have had a scare one time when one guy took it out of town, disabled his little tiny GPS, and didn't know that the car had the BMW Connect, so he had to go track down his car. And to my knowledge, TURO did take care of him, took care of his fees, and he got it back and started renting out again. And I believe that the guy who rented it actually ended up going to jail, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what happened. But the i8, again, man, it's a sweet looking car, man. It is, like, if you're trying to impress people, man, get an i8. It don't matter what pulling up next, a Lamborghini, a Aston Martin, it doesn't matter. Hold on, I'm looking at is this my car and my wife in my 6 Series? Oh, it's not, but oh my God, it looks just like my 6 Series, man. I gotta learn how to flip my camera around and shit for y'all, because I've been looking stupid as hell doing my camera like this, like y'all can be able to see. I'm gonna be working on that. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter what car you pull up to, man. The i8 will fit right in. You would get your props. If your goal is to get the ladies or impress a group of people, the i8 is for you. Because even though they're down in the 50s and the 60s now, just got to get some gas real quick. Even though they're down in the 50s and 60s now, the i8 still looks like a $120,000 car. And the new ones, the 2019, still look like the 2015s and the 2016. So, the i8 is definitely a car that people eye a lot. So again, be careful. Next car on my list is the Ford Mustang. I personally own a Mustang. It's actually my favorite car out of all my vehicles. I'm a little bit fortunate because my Mustang's a stick, you know, real men. My Mustang's a stick, so I don't get too many renters. I get more car enthusiasts. And actually, when people are renting my Mustang, they actually drive it like grandmas, even though mine's is extremely custom. It has the aftermarket wheels, has the aftermarket exhaust. I can't wait to put it on the channel. It's been at Ford for a while. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. Y'all gonna love that car. But I'm fortunate, but other people aren't. And it doesn't matter what type of Mustang you have. It doesn't matter if it's a V6, a V8. Most people who are not used to Mustangs aren't used to sports cars, period. And they don't know the difference between a Mustang and a Mustang GT. So it doesn't matter if it's a V6 or a V8. If they don't know how to drive, they're wrecking your shit. So just be very mindful. I would be really careful about people who are 18, 19, and 20 years old. Of course, you can't help. There's no way to filter that vehicle out of search for those young people. So just got to be real careful. Like even like for me, like if I have a young person pull up to rent my like a Corvette, I tell them the car is monitored. It has a GPS system on it. It monitors the wheel spin and tire burn. I just scare the shit out of them. It's crazy, and I do have technology like that, but it's nothing like telling them. You tell a person that the car's been monitored, they do less stuff. You know what I mean? Less shit. So, that's definitely one car I would definitely always be watching, you know, on my GPS to make sure that they're not, you know, messing up the car. Next is a Camaro. Should not be a surprise to anyone. Camaros, especially in Atlanta, Camaro is like the hood Lamborghini, man. If you got a Camaro here in Atlanta, it's really all you need to get what you want. Like if you coming here for the ladies, you coming to the city of Atlanta for the ladies, man, a Camaro is all you need. You don't have to rent no i8 and no Maserati. You pull up in a Camaro down in any hood in Atlanta, and females all in your shit, man. You know what I mean? Like they just love Camaros. They love Camaros so much here in Atlanta, I refuse to buy one. I don't care if it's an SS, ZL1, which I do love that track package, but I would never buy a Camaro because I just see them so much, way more than what's it called? Way more than Mustangs. I see them way more to the point where I'm not even moved by it no more. Like you got to have a really special one-off Camaro for me to even look that way. Lastly, it's a tie between, and I'm gonna let y'all guess. Y'all already know. I know y'all do. Y'all already know what it is. But it's a tie between two cars, and it's because they bought the same makers. And this, of course, would be the Dodge Charger and the Challengers. Doesn't matter if it's a Scat Pack. Doesn't matter if it's just a Daytona. Doesn't matter if it's a Hellcat. Oh my God, I would never rent a Hellcat out. It don't matter. They will tear your car up if you are not careful about who you are renting to. And the thing about it is, it's not really how careless a driver is the fact that Dodges, especially like the Hellcats, not the wide bodies, but the regular Hellcats, they tend to fishtail. Like you just hitting it, you're gonna lose that back end real quick, and that's really kind of a fault of the Hellcat. Now, not the Hellcat wide bodies; they fixed that with the wider back tires. But the original Hellcats, man, do not rent that shit out, man. Do not rent it out if you are in love with it. If it's just a car for you to make money on, cool. But if you are in love with that, do not rent no Hellcat. Hell, I wouldn't even rent a Scat Pack on Turo, just cause people with Chargers always tend to mash the gas. You cannot help it. That Hemi V8, that exhaust notes, you can't help it. Hell, even I can't help it. Like, I was about to buy a Hellcat before I bought my Mustang. Go, y'all. I was about to buy a Hellcat and I test drove it, and it instantly, the minute we turn on the main street, I hit that motherfucker, boy. And sure enough, that it fished a little bit on the end, but I'm an experienced driver, so I handled it, got it back under control. But everyone isn't, an experienced driver, especially when you're 20, 21. I could drive way better now at 32 than I could at, 20. I honestly, if I'm in love with that car, I'm not renting it out. Now, you decrease your chances with the wide body. The wide body handles a lot better. It's a way different feel from the regular Hellcat. But still, you're spending more money for that wide body kit. So it's kind of up to you. But I personally, I would never. And trust me, I could make big money on Chargers, but not as much as I would with the repair bills. So I just wouldn't. If I'm starting off on Turo, I would never, ever rent out a Scat Pack, Challenger, or Charger and up. Now, the V6 models, those are kind of like, little Impalas. But just like I said with the Mustang, some people don't know, man. Like, if you're not a car guy, you really don't have the slightest clue what's the difference between a Charger SE, a SE Charger, and a Hellcat. Like, and I've seen people, honestly, like throw the Hellcat logo on their shit. Like, just straight up throw it on there. Like we don't know. Like, we know it's not a Hellcat, bro. Like, we know. I'm sorry, guys. It's getting a little dark, and I just parked in my garage. I probably need to go up some more. Let's go up just a little bit. Where's my 360 camera to help me out? Thank you very much. And we are good. All right. So, guys, those are my top 5 cars. Maserati Ghibli. BMW i8. Mustang. Ginger. I'm sorry, y'all. My dog. Come here, baby. Come here, Pookie. Ginger, get your ass over here before I knock your ass out. I'm sorry, I'm talking to my dog crazy. Come on, baby. Up and my daughter's coming. All right, guys. End of the video.